Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants, where I have been joined by my two gorgeous co-hosts, and I have a shocking surprise for all of you. Wren from Relations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Hey guys!
As well as Ishtar from her own Twitch streams and where she helps out right here on Help for the Guildless and Cyberdeep. What is wrong with... What did you do?
What do you mean, what did I do?
Why do I have a feeling you're supposed to have a red balloon saying they all float down here?
Oh, I didn't have a red balloon handy.
From her own Twitch streams and where she helps out on Cyberdemon Gaming.
Hi guys!
Your camera is just fine.
You sure?
Yes. Your camera is fine. I can see your face.
Mm-hmm.
I need more practice doing freehand line art because one of my lines is uneven.
To be fair, my eyeliner is the exact same way. Cat, can we not put a claw on my back, please? Thank you.
But I managed to do a cut crease and make it work.
Cut creases are a bit hard.
I was very proud of myself.
Wren, your camera unless you're going to be lowering your top, you need to raise the camera just a little bit. We are just getting your lower jaw.
That better?
Yes, perfect. Say hello, everyone. Wren has found a way to work around her potato.
Yes. Yes, I have.
And Ishtar is fighting the giant turtle and killing people with balloons.
We'll be having turtle soup tomorrow.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. Also, don't mind the intrusion of kittens. They probably will try to intrude a bit.
They're kittens. They're allowed.
And I don't even know if
Ryder, why are you celebrating?
I don't know if I did my own introduction. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great. And I would say, how are you ladies this week?
I'm good. How are you?
It's been a long day.
Maybe if you're lucky, Matt and Ishii might share some of the liquor we're sending them. Cat.
Oh my god, so much liquor. It's going to be great.
I don't think that would be a good idea because
you don't get drunk.
I can't get drunk, so I can't experience the fun.
Oh, fair enough. Nope. Again, Mittens, my leg is not a claw post.
TM Ryder says he's got a reason to celebrate today. Want to guess? He wants you to guess.
No. Just tell us.
He got a raise?
Won the lottery.
Won the lottery. That would be a good one. Well, while he is typing that in chat... Oh, well, that's very sweet. He said his dad proposed to his mom again.
Aww.
It must be something in the air. There's proposals going all around. Wren, you better make sure that Igor is not trying to propose to you again.
First time he proposed to me, it was in the same sentence as, "Do you want McDonald's for lunch?" So,
do you want McDonald's for lunch? Will you marry me? That is the epitome of romance.
Well, while we're talking about romance, let's say hello to those of us who are here to romance the pictures on screen. Mitzi was first, because of course she is. I am almost certain she just lurks in a live chat on my channel all day. I don't know. I seconds after I post that we're going to be going live at a certain point in time, Mitzi claims first.
Do not shame her for her hobbies. All right? Let her enjoy them.
Ray happens to be our silver. Yeknomena says he's sliding in for bronze. And Zar is our honourable mention. How's it going, the four of you? Congratulations for being the top four. Nathan comes in a quick and close fifth, unfortunately. How's it going, Nathan? Wild Breath is here. And Nathan asks, how are some of my favourite people on this side of the internet? Well, as I said, it's been a long day.
It has.
Clever Mick generic name was here, says, I'm so high on caffeine I don't trust myself to participate in civilized discourse and conversation. And then follows it up with, so I bid you all a good night until I forget I said this and come back. Shouldn't be long. So we should probably be expecting Clever here shortly. Steve, how's it going? And then TM Rider, of course, is in the chat. Zeo Gold says, howdy. Wolvania's here, also says howdy. Wolvania says, put the pants back on. It's not that kind of date.
They got divorced, so after 38 years, he is remarrying her. That is so romantic.
Aww.
Oh my god.
You're going to make Ishtar cry, and Matt did enough of that already, and she spent a lot of time on her makeup.
And I still want to go fix the one line that doesn't fit right.
You're just gonna have to leave it be.
It's driving me crazy.
Well, as I said, apparently, asking for people's hands in marriage is in the air these last few days.
Are you going to ask Sarah a question?
Yeah.
Yes, of course I'm going to ask her a question. Where she wants to go for dinner.
You know, Sarah might want a proposal too, you know.
No, Ishtar, do you understand the bar that Matt set for something like that?
Pretty damn high.
And, you know, Sarah and I haven't even talked about something like that. How dare you, both of you, put that on me?
That sounds like a personal issue to me.
That does indeed sound like a personal issue to you.
And I'm guessing I have to be there.
Yes, of course you have to be there. You're the one we've got set up to run the streaming.
Oh, I don't even get to be part of the groom's party? I have to do the streaming?
Who else can we trust but a cyber demon to make sure that it gets to where it needs to go?
You know, that's not fair.
Without you doing this, there are going to be upwards of 100 people who are going to be very unhappy that they don't get to see it, including my family. Most of them would be my family. So your job, other than, you know, the groom himself, is the most important job.
There are some of us who would really love to see this wedding. And you'll have to send me a save the date so I can...
Of course, Wren.
...bug my boss to get a day off so I can be there.
Well, if you want an actual wedding invite, we can get you guys one. You're more than welcome.
Sweet.
Well, Ghost Dog has jumped in with a happy pre-Samhain, Antoine, Ishtar, and Wren. Antoine purr for the ladies, and Wren for new potato. Also, Ishi, buy you something sweet.
Aw, thank you, Ghost Dog.
Thank you, Ghost Dog.
You're sweethearts.
And before I purr for you ladies, Ryder wants to know how long Sarah and I have been together.
Gosh, how long have you two been together? I know it's longer than me and Matt.
Does temporal differences count?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. About 7 years?
Antoine, you haven't asked?
You don't remember your anniversary.
It's not... It's Valentine's Day, but temporal things happen. When you go into different dimensions, time passes differently.
No, Antoine. The Valentine's Day is Matt and I's anniversary.
So you don't remember
Your
Antoine.
anniversary is in December. Remember?
No, I distinctly remember asking her to go with me for something for Valentine's Day.
You copied me and Antoine? Or me and Matt? God damn it, see how flustered you've got me? You copied me and Matt?
I asked her first. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
I asked her on Army of Snarkneys.
God damn
You're
it.
just going to have to deal with it.
He totally copied us, Wren.
He totally copied.
And 7 years. Ryder is correct. Dude, what the fuck?
Here,
What?
If it makes you feel better, kitten. Kitten.
Kitten helps. Hi,
Zio
cute.
Gold says, "Hey Antoine, I got a Halloween gift for you and Sarah. What is that?" Anyway, while we're finding out what Zio Gold's gift is, I have a purr that that has been paid for. So
Work it over.
yes, Ishtar wise. How's it going, Michael Hatfield? Didn't see you.
Hi, Mike.
Ghost Dog says, "Antoine, put a damn ring on it, man." Listen, Sarah and I haven't talked about it, and this is not an episode of MSNBC that is about my love life, all right?
Apparently it needs to be because we need to sort this shit out.
No,
Yeah.
no, we do not. Thank you. Yeknamena says it can't rush a good romance.
Okay.
Thank you.
7 years?
You're legally married in some states.
It took the minion 6 months.
Matt told me he loved me 4 months in.
Yeah.
I am failing to see the point of this.
Meaning 7 years. You should.
Have you at least told her you love her?
Yeah. You at least said that.
Yes.
Okay. How long did that take you?
Not that long.
Okay. So you have loved her for what, 6.5 years?
I mean, let's be fair here. When I say not that long, I would say probably about 2 weeks.
So it makes it even worse. So almost 7 full years, and you haven't, and so you know you love her, and there's no ring on Sarah's finger.
Seriously?
This is not what this episode is about. This episode is our Halloween spooktacular, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Halloween and all the fun things that have been going on with that. This is not about my relationship with the Rider of Death, or my trampsing through different dimensions with her that extends the time period we've been together. This is about funny news, and both of your cleavages.
I don't know.
Clearly, I am going to have a talk with Matt about getting some sense knocked into you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the second time, Ryder. We're talking about him doing it the first time. I can go get her.
How do you feel about... Seal Gold asks a question. How do you feel about polyester, manga, and Gingham?
Gingham.
Is it Gingham?
Gingham.
Gingham is a pattern of fabric. It's the little squares.
Frequently
Listen,
you said picnic.
Yeah. No, he hasn't asked her the first time, Ryder.
Alright, we are moving on to actual news. That's what this show is about.
I think we're upsetting him, Wren.
I think we have upset him.
Why don't we start with the spookiness? Since you're used to talking about weird things, Ishtar, hit us with something. And maybe, just maybe, at the end of this episode, you can talk to me about this.
Okay.
All right, that's a fair deal.
What did you put in for my title article?
No one has a title article.
Excellent.
It's the Halloween Spooktacular.
Witches' marks found in old church ruins. Archaeologists have discovered 12th century stone markings that were created to ward off evil spirits.
That's not a witch's mark. It looks like a butthole in the middle of a stone.
I think it's supposed to represent the sun.
Maybe.
Found at the remains of a church in Stoke Mandeville, Buckinghamshire, the markings exhibit multiple designs, including one that resembles a bicycle wheel, pictured above, and another with multiple points jointed at the center with a vaguely circle or flower-like outline around the outside. Dating back to 900 years to medieval times, St. Mary's Church was abandoned in 1866 with the construction of a new church closer to the village. Experts believe that the markings are what are known as witches' marks. special symbols and patterns designed to trap spirits within their endless lines. It is a fascinating insight into the past, said archaeologist Michael Court. Discoveries such as these unusual markings have opened up discussions as to their purpose and usage. Excavations at the site are currently being undertaken in preparation for the construction of the new HS2 railway line, which will pass through the area. Archaeologists have said that work has revealed years of heritage and British history.
Yekna chimes in with saying, "Are they sure the lines aren't there to keep? Are they sure it wasn't the altar boys trying to escape? I'll
Oh.
see myself out."
Very good question, but no, probably not.
Yeah, it just looks like a giant butthole.
You're so romantic, I can see why you haven't proposed. But I did just find a similar story from July that I can't believe I missed this. Moon witch hex claim circulates on TikTok.
Alright, send it to me.
There you go. The video sharing platform has recently been buzzing with the claim that the moon has been hexed by witches.
The moon has been hexed by witches.
Apparently. After rising to prominence worldwide over the last 2 years, TikTok has seen more than its share of bizarre controversies, viral phenomena, and posting trends. And this latest example is no exception. According to reports, several witches on the platform, who are part of a community known as Witch Talk, are under the impression that one of their own has hexed the moon. The strange revelation has generated a great deal of debate, with many expressing concern about the ramifications of such a curse, as the moon holds great significance to many practicing witches. It remains unclear where the claim originated, or indeed if it is actually based on anything at all.
Are these the same witches that I saw on Twitter doing a plastic bag summoning thing against Trump?
I don't think so. I think these ones are, actual real. The reaction has even been described as a form of social media mass hysteria. With this big shift in the energy from gods many of us work with, as they're angry, practitioners and worshippers, and honestly anyone spiritually in tune, may feel mood swings, unable to do spell work, and just overall everyone's energy has been thrown off, and a lot of us are very anxious now, wrote Jules Marie, one of the witches on the platform.
So she's got an issue with it being 2020 and her time of the month.
They're a little more sensitive. Honestly, it's just very overwhelming for witches who are affected by shifts in energy and are vulnerable. Exactly how or when the situation is likely to be resolved, however, remains unclear. My guess is when the clock ticks to 12:01 in New Year's.
Hello to TM Rider's baby niece.
Hi, baby niece.
Hi.
And Allie just showed up.
Hi, Allie.
Hey, Allie.
I don't know. Wren, what kind of if you were to practice Wicca or witchcraft, what kind of a witch would you be?
I actually did in college.
Okay.
And white witch, I guess is the correct term.
I would be a kitchen witch. I would definitely go in for that line.
I'm sorry, I could have swore I heard that wrong. Did you say kitchen bitch?
Kitchen witch.
Witch.
Oh, witch.
It's somebody whose spell work focuses mostly around the crafts of cooking and baking and being in the kitchen.
No, I agree with Damn Alien. How's it going, Remy? Knit witches. Antoine Zeogold has a second question for me. How does Sarah feel about candy and crazy facial expressions?
Sarah's not really a sweets girl, is she?
Not that I know of. She does like certain sweets. Mostly snack cakes that you get at a gas station. It's something to do with her job.
Zebra cakes?
Yes.
Huh.
As for crazy facial expressions, I have no idea.
I don't know. What kind of expressions does she make when you're attempting to have sex?
Someone is a little salty.
I am not salty.
Oh, his niece is only 10
she's
months.
10 months. That's so cute.
Oh, baby.
Hold on. That brings up a good question. Ishtar,
Hmm.
didn't a step get met? Are you going to start showing us your baby bump?
I do not have a baby bump. It's going to remain non-baby bump until the last step is complete, which will be the marriage.
I could have swore there was only one step, which is that
No.
Matt had to put a ring on it.
No.
She
He
did
has-
say married first.
Yeah, I was very clear. We had to do the marriage first.
Ah. Well.
Though he keeps trying to convince me.
Wedding first.
Yes, Ishtar apparently is out for blood. She's got some issues with Sarah and I, or me particularly. Well, we were talking about sweets. Sarah does like ice cream. I will admit that. And there is a story. Now, because this is the Halloween spooktacular, I didn't necessarily go through Florida Man. I just wanted to find some fun Halloween stories for you all.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't pass up...
Hi, Malik.
How's it going, Malik? I could not pass up this image. And when you see it, you'll understand why. And then I'll read you the title. Because that is a candy bazooka.
Yes.
Candy Bazooka sounds amazing. I can't wait for it to pop up on stream.
Yes, Malik. My
Hi,
face is back.
How's it going, Asta? So, yeah, it's a candy bazooka. At least, as far as I can tell. Because...
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Because this ice cream shop, Andersonville Ice Cream Shop, launches a contest to find the best pandemic-friendly Halloween candy delivery system.
Smart.
The winner of the most inventive, socially distanced trick-or-treating system will win 5 pints of ice cream.
Can't argue with that.
Why are you mad at Zeogold? What did he do?
I'm not mad at Zeogold.
I think
I
you're
just
mad at
gave him a
Zeogold.
warning because he suggested some cringe that would forever contaminate one of my all-time favorite movies. And I told him that if he did that, I would toss him to Nurgle.
Mm.
Nathan says he's building a trebuchet to deliver candy. That's also very good.
Very clever.
I'm importing my candy from Japan for fun.
And Ray says that's the only Pez dispenser that requires a 3-day waiting period.
Right?
Trick-or-treating is allowed this year because the government really can't stop you all.
See, that's the thing that everyone who's bitching about the lockdown has forgotten. They can't arrest us all.
Nope.
We can go and do what we want.
Hell, my kids are going trick-or-treating. They've already made plans with groups of friends.
Man, I would love to be able to go to have kids come around and do trick-or-treating.
Yeah, it would be fun. I could scare them all and then steal their candy.
To be fair,
No.
have some candy because depending on the parents, there might actually be some kids still trying to see whose house has candy.
No, Ishtar's neighborhood, they don't do trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't?
No. Alright.
It's all older people.
Ah.
It's very disheartening.
Malik asks a really good question. Do they come to the hideout for trick-or-treating? Believe it or not, a lot of the henchmen that work at the hideout do have children. So they do something called trunk-or-treat, where they all just throw candy in the back of their Oldsmobiles or whatever families drive. I don't know. And then they're outside the hideout and they just walk to each trunk and get candy. Anyway.
And honestly, if you think that Antoine lives at the hideout, you are sorely mistaken. This freeloader lives with me and Matt.
Freeloader.
Freeloader, you don't
To be
pay
fair,
rent.
he visits over here too.
Freeloader.
But neighbours are being asked to come up with socially distanced methods of handing out candy. Now, an Andersonville ice cream shop wants to reward the most ingenious Halloween candy delivery system. George's Ice Cream and Sweets 5306 North Clark Street has launched the Candy Delivery System Invention Contest. They need better naming conventions for their contests.
Yeah.
The person, you call it something different. You know, you don't call the contest exactly what it is. So the most innovative candy injection system. Or innovative delivery invention. Something. You don't...
Let's say candy injection sounds...
A little not right.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a good thing they didn't hire you to be their marketing director.
To be fair, most of the Halloween things that I go to does have adults, and the candy injection system is a little bit more personal.
Pervert.
How's it going, Dark? The person or family that builds the most inventive candy delivery system will win 5 pints of ice cream. And with all the salt that Ishtar is throwing my way at this point in time, she may need all 5 pints.
Oh, are you going to go win it for me?
No.
Then the salt continues.
Charles Williams, general manager of George's, got the idea for the contest while thinking of a way to safely give out candy on Halloween. Williams got the idea to repurpose the 3-gallon tubs that house the shop's ice cream. He cleaned out the tubs, cut out the bottoms before taping them together and adding spooky decorations. Williams shared the idea with David Oakes, Director of Business Services for the Andersonville Chamber of Commerce. Oakes suggested holding a contest for the neighborhood. It's just a super fun thing, Williams said. Things are changing so fast, we just wanted to try something different. Neighbors have been getting creative in finding ways to allow for trick-or-treating during the pandemic. One of the most common solutions is to affix PVC piping to a banister, but that might not be enough to win George's contest. The most intricate systems Williams has seen so far involve a pulley system from a home's front door to its gate. Submissions to the contest must allow candy to be exchanged from a distance of at least 6 feet. Submissions should include video and or photos of the invention, and they can be sent to the email on the screen. A winner will be announced on Halloween. The Andersonville business community usually has a large trick-or-treating event on Halloween that was replaced this year by a socially distanced event on Capitol Avenue, where families are asked to sign up for a trick-or-treating time slot to avoid crowding. Who knew you need reservations to go trick-or-treating?
That kind of takes the fun out of it if you have to reserve time to go trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
George's staff will be at the event using its own candy cannon to pass out treats to kids. After the cancellation of so many events this year, Williams said he is glad Andersonville has found a way to celebrate Halloween. He is also happy to help spread the holiday joy with the invention contest. I'm super glad to be able to do it, Williams said. You've got to innovate in these times.
I mean, props to him for still managing to make Halloween a thing. A lot of places are just like, okay, no Halloween. Y'all can just sit there and deal with fussy kids.
Alright, there's a video on display right now for the candy... Oh, it's just a... Okay, so it's... It wasn't anything, it was just hollow. Yeah. Where's the cannon part of the cannon?
It's not there, apparently.
He's still working on it.
I am disappointed.
You're disappointed?
I am very disappointed. Yaknameno says, I wonder if they want the payload all-in-one or rapid-fire, solids or liquids. The answers could mean the difference between a hot fudge boulder or a flame wafer type system. All right. Well, Wren, no. I know you sent me a new article. Do you want to read that one, or do you want to read something else?
Let's go with the new one. I'm just bringing it up.
All right, give me just a second so I can grab it. It's from The Sun. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Sun is always
Dangerous.
interesting.
Let's just say the Sun has a chance of getting my channel cancelled at times.
Well, luckily there's no video or
And-
anything.
Yeah, I agree. See, Remy agrees with me. Disappointed does not begin to describe that canon.
Yeah.
He could still be in the process of building it, guys. Chill.
Okay, now mind you, this is up. There is an update of this, but this was something on Amazon for a while. Hello Fluween, sick coronavirus Halloween masks made by a Chinese firm being sold on Amazon.
That's good. That's good. A Chinese company is making coronavirus Halloween masks.
That's interesting.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Sick coronavirus
That's
Halloween
horrifying.
masks made by a Chinese firm are being sold on Amazon. As the official global death toll from the deadly bug hits 1 million worldwide this week, older article, the virus-shaped heads are being flogged for, I'm guessing sold, for £14.59 online.
God, that's horrible.
Now, does it come with a free case of the Wu flu?
I don't know. Maybe it does.
Oh, the green one's not any better.
No, it's not. And apparently they're made to resemble what COVID-19 looks like under a microscope.
Ugh.
According to the listing, the firm attached to selling this frightful product is YTFU EU, which is listed as being based in
Guangdong.
Guangdong, China, the country where the virus is thought to have originated.
Thought to have originated? I think we're pretty sure.
Well, I'm thinking that the province of Guangdong is where they thought the country is supposed to have originated.
From listed as the Corona Halloween mask, the Corona latex horror mask. The latex heads resemble what COVID-19 virus looks like under a microscope. The horror mask, which is available in bright green and dull gray with red spikes, is made from lateral latex, which can be used to frighten everyone at a party. They come complete with scary eyes and a mouth lined with teeth to complete what could be the most distasteful costume choice for October 31st.
You're not saying it correctly there, Wren. Whoever created these has a great sense of humour.
Yeah.
It's lateral latex. Making fun of the Chinese accent. That's good.
It's unclear whether the masks are real or just a sick prank. The Sun Online was unable to get a hold of a copy of the mask, as it takes over a month to arrive in the UK, being shipped from China. Blah, blah, people who lost their lives to... whatever. As an Amazon spokesperson said, all sellers must follow our selling guidelines. Those who do not will be subject to action, including potential removal of their account. So they did remove this product. They also attempted to reach the company, but was unable to.
I really
I
want
think
to.
it's brilliant.
I really want to know what YTFU stands for. I'm
know.
assuming the FU is fuck you.
Yeah, probably.
Somebody may be a little bitter about life.
Maybe. That's funny.
It really is.
Yeah. But some people are butthurt because it's not.
They are.
Yeah, because they are. But you know what?
Well, Ray has spoiled the beans on what my candy delivery system is.
Oh, what does he do?
Well,
Go
Ray and I were talking about getting a candy catapult. And we were testing it out. Now, we don't have it set just yet. Most of the time, the candy tends to take the person out. But I can guarantee you the candy that we're trying to catch, or the person we're trying to catch with the candy, will eventually be caught. They're just very fast.
Who are you trying to catch with candy?
You have had way too much time during this pandemic. You need to find something productive to do, like proposing to Sarah.
This is going to be a thing for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is. Because I can guarantee you, this does matter to her.
I mean, don't you want to have, little babies with Sarah? Little half riders?
I do not produce bodily fluids. So that's
not
going
what
to be...
that one cowgirl says.
She's lying, but that's fine. I don't produce bodily fluids, so it's kind of hard for someone who is the rider of death and me to actually produce offspring.
How do you know that?
Have you tried?
We've...
You've tried!
No.
Antoine!
What I was going to say is we try as often as we can. I don't produce bodily fluids, so there's nothing that comes out.
Can you imagine what like a little
Oh my
mini?
god, that would be so cute. Little skeletal Antoine.
Aww.
It'd be like Halloween all the year.
Or a little mini me of Sarah.
Oh my god, yes.
Enough. All right.
So cute.
We're just gonna turn this whole baby obsession thing of yours around on you.
Yeah.
Let's go, Penny Tar. It's your turn.
Penny Tar. Well, it sounds better than It Tar that Allie came up with. Let's see. Who do I want to play? We'll go with we'll go with this one.
What one?
This one.
This one.
Catholic Church behind the times accepts mediums.
I don't have that one.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You should. I sent it to the group chat.
Oh, it's this one. Okay. You know what? Shush.
Okay.
Spite Tar.
Oh, Ghost Dog has a good question. Can Sarah have kids being the rider of death? I think she could.
No, you see, Zeo Gold is asking, is my gun shooting blanks? No, because it doesn't have any ammo. TM Rider put it better. Antoine has no water in the pool, so he can't make a splash. I don't know why this is a topic. Why are we talking about... Why? Just read your damn thing.
What if we want to imagine what little Sarahs or Antoines would look like?
We don't need to know what little Sarahs and Antoines look like.
I think we do.
Ishtar? Did she leave?
No.
Are you going to read?
You're not being Dark Layers. You're not being ignored.
We're not.
Hello.
We're not ignoring you, Dark. Are you going to read, Ishtar?
Did you read the group chat?
No.
Read the group chat.
Son of a bitch. Oh, knock it off. Read your damn article. You are an engaged woman, adult woman. Act like it.
Why start now? I didn't act like it when I was married.
Oh, wait. Ray brings up a good story idea. Sarah doing all her rider of death things while taking the baby out for a day.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious. Here, hold the baby. I have to reap that soul. I'll be right back. I can't collect you right now. My baby needs a diaper change. You can wait. No, honey, you grab the soul like this. Don't chew on it. Just pull it.
Don't chew on the soul, dear.
Mm-hmm. You don't know where that's been. Get it out of your mouth.
I hate both of you so much right now. I blame all of this. I blame all of this line of thinking on Ryder. All of it.
I think it's pretty good. How about you, Wren?
I think it's great.
All right. The Catholic Church and mediums. In much of the research conducted into mediumship practices, and as indicated as the author's recent book, J. Borkus, Deadly Departed, the reality of spiritual gifts in the Catholic Church has been in existence all along. They are just too ignorant to admit it. As a consequence of the ignorance of real knowledge from the hierarchy to the lower levels of the Church and of its lay ministry, there is a complete disregard of the gifts of the Spirit and how they are bestowed, employed, and developed within an individual. Searching the internet can uncover some clear distinctions and lack of understanding within the church system and its holy orders. Let's see.
Dark has a complaint for Sarah. Maybe you can relay it. Says, "Damn you for taking Eddie Van Halen." And why didn't you take Justin? Why didn't she take Justin Bieber?
I think the complaint's for Sarah.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to take it to her. I don't question her about her job. And as far as I know, there's a list. You have to do it in order of the list. I don't know. Ray goes, amazing story of a man who survived a skydiving accident where his chute didn't open. Sadly, he fell dead 3 minutes after walking away, falling into a gopher hole. A used diaper was found at the area.
Oh.
That is pretty funny.
Just read about the occult. Just go.
All right. The church teaches that anything out of its remit is tantamount to a mortal sin or evil. According to early teachings found in various texts, it was forbidden to seek seers, divine information, visit oracles, and so much more. However, this is really from a place of ignorance and control rather than the reality of the dangers of hidden knowledge. Church laws and teachings change over time, and one only needs to refer to the Didache to get the unabridged meaning of the gifts of the Spirit and the warnings according to the disciples of Jesus that was before the church. The Didache was the teaching of the apostles, the rules, if you like, of early Christianity. What is abundantly clear is that divination and conjuring, according to the beliefs of religious texts, are considered the opposite to spiritual gifts because of the methodology behind these practices. Perhaps this has some merit, and one has to seriously look toward occult practices such as magic to realize there is a clear division between these practices and what the gifts of the Spirit are considered to be and how they are employed in spirit communication and discernment. This is not what I was hoping it would be.
So, what you're saying is that you had no idea that this was the church actually saying we're okay with spooky things?
Apparently, later on in the article that I'm skimming down because I'm trying to find what I was looking for, what I was hoping it would be. Let's see. There is a bit of conjecture here in the church. The Pope has actually gone so far as to accept those with spiritual gifts, but only if they are Catholics. And there was a church document that was released in 2017, but only for bishop, that lays out the urge for the Catholic leaders to accept those with spiritual gifts who are in service to the church, the people, and of course, Catholic. So basically, as long as you're Catholic, you can be a medium.
How's it going, Tom? Ray says, the first rule of Christianity is we don't talk about Jesus' sex life. The second rule of Christianity is we don't talk about Jesus' sex life. The third rule of Christianity is ignore James, the son of Christ.
I mean, in that era, you kind of had to reproduce. And let's face it, Mary was a married woman. She didn't stay a virgin all her life.
Well, I'm sure he had brothers and sisters. Alright, since that article was a roaring flop,
I'm disappointed.
I am disappointed in you as well.
I'm going to read this one.
No, we're moving on.
Yeah. No, I want to read one that's not a roaring flop. It's actually kind of silly.
What?
Supermarket staff member gets tripped by ghost.
What? You mean they tripped over their own feet?
A supermarket employee from Irvine Supermarket got the scare of a lifetime when a crate unexpectedly moved and made her take a tumble. When the CCTV of the supermarket was later reviewed, the crate appeared to move on its own.
Sure it did.
The shop's owner, Imran Ali, took to the social media with the CCTV footage and joked the trick was played by the supermarket's ghost, who he calls Stacy. Imran Ali also reported that the staff member was unharmed apart from a sore butt.
Are we sure it's Stacy and not Karen?
Well, he's named it Stacy. If it was named Karen, it would probably be a lot more dangerous. For decades, there have been stories about unexplained pranks, some more harmful than others. Here are some examples reported by witnesses. Both stories show just how diverse trickster ghosts can be, from relatively harmless to life-threatening. The story of the Silk Road spirits is not a new one. It is said that the deserts of Uzbekistan are home to evil spirits who love to confuse travelers and even steal their provisions. Unfortunately, there are reports of travelers making their way into the desert and never returning. Even though that could be attributed to the desert environment, it would be a good idea not to go into the Uzbekistan unprepared.
How's it going, Bloodletter?
Kerrigan Flanagan Broski had a ghostly joke played on her in 2006. When accompanying a paranormal investigator by the name of Joe Giacinto, she found herself interviewing the owner of Lloyd Antiques, which was believed to be haunted. She went in with a healthy dose of skepticism, but would soon change her mind. According to the owner, the ghost of his uncle Levi had a love for practical jokes. Even though the property was a non-smoking area, visitors could regularly smell cigars on the premises. Uncle Levi tends to knock things from shelves and knock tables over. Once the interview was over, Joe, the owner, invited them to take a look upstairs and joked that maybe Uncle Levi would throw something over. The author laughed at the notion and headed upstairs to look through some photo books. When she tried to grab her own digital camera to take some photos for her article, it mysteriously dropped. She attributed the incident to clumsiness, but the EVP and an email from Joe would bring clarity. I honed right into the camera episode, which I thought would be a good starting point, since I also asked Levi to talk to us afterwards. The best EVP is when your camera crashed, and I said something like, "Oh, Levi, was that you?" Right after, you hear a guy go, "Psst," like someone is saying, "Come over here." If you want to read more about this story, have a look at her book and Ghosts of Long Island.
Tom says, that's what I want to do with my eternal afterlife. Fuck with my nephew.
Your audio just went to hell.
Me? Or his?
I can't hear. There we go. Okay, I'm good.
You're good now?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
All right.
I had to wiggle the headphone thingy.
You had to wiggle the thingy.
Yes,
Look,
I had
we
to wiggle
don't
the
want to know. We don't want to know what you and Matt do in your private time.
Well, if you don't put a ring on Sarah's finger, you're not going to be wiggling your thingy.
You don't know that.
Wren,
Yeah.
speaking as a woman,
Yes.
when you were engaged, but
Yes.
dating Igor, and a friend of yours got engaged, did it put wedding desires into your head?
Yeah, it did.
Because it does that for me too. So, and it does that to every other female that I know that doesn't just flat out despise marriage.
Unfortunately for you, Sarah is unlike anyone you've ever met.
You don't know that.
She puts up with you, so yeah.
Well, yes, but you also don't know. I've known the most non-traditional people, and they still wanted to get married.
She could have a romantic streak.
Yeah, and not to mention, her idea of romance might be different. She might want to get married on a blood-soaked battlefield.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Or things like that. Her idea of romance might be different, but doesn't mean she doesn't have an idea of romance in her head.
Are you two quite done?
No.
No.
But we'll pause until the next article's over.
Yeah. We'll pause for a bit, but we're not going to.
Since we were talking about your soon-to-be baby bump, Ishtar.
Not soon.
Soon-to-be baby bump.
No, not soon.
Did you know that it's not just Halloween that you have to worry about spookiness?
Oh, really?
Yes. Because according to the New York Times, forget Halloween, children are frightening year-round.
They really are.
No shit.
Well, I know you have Hellspawn running around your house. Ishtar may not know this.
I have 6 nieces and nephews.
That you are allowed to give back at the end of the day.
Yes, but just seeing them all together when we're out visiting.
Trust me, even children in small doses, even when you can give them back, they're terrifying.
Some parents don't need spooky stories or horror movies. The real terror already lives within the walls of their homes. To be clear, I'm talking about little children. Kids can be incredibly eerie. They seem innocent but sometimes appear highly sophisticated, and when they communicate, it's often in such a simple, uninhibited way that many adults find it unnerving, especially when their children are talking about something unpleasant. Harper, who is 6, has mastered the art of delivering grim news in a calm, matter-of-fact way, kind of like a newscaster announcing that the stock market just crashed. I wouldn't sleep in your bedroom if I were you, she once advised her parents. She and her family live in a creaky, century-old white stucco home in Abingdon, Virginia, which has been in her dad's family for generations. Shortly after they moved in, she told her parents about the skeleton men who inhabited the house and sometimes the yard, too. They're dressed like soldiers, and one wears body armor, but she isn't scared of them. They're more of an annoyance. She'll roll her eyes, shrug her shoulders, and say, "Ugh, one of them walked through the wall again," said Harper's mother, Alyssa Hoover Thompson, 40, who's a psychologist. Harper much prefers her attic friend, a nice ghost named Felicia. This is not the first time Harper has spooked her parents. When she was 2, she declared, "You're not my real mom and dad. My first mom and dad died. You're my second set of parents." I would say she probably brought it up 25 to 30 times over the years, Hoover Thompson said, adding that Harper no longer recalls saying that. These stories might seem unsettling, but developmental psychologists say that it's normal for children to talk about death or express their aggression during imaginary play. It's a natural part of childhood, said Sandra Russ, a psychology professor at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, who has studied how children play for 3 decades. It's healthy to have a vivid imagination. And yes, she added, most children know it's all pretend by the time they are 3. Unless they're identity politics idiots who don't understand the difference between reality and fiction.
Yes.
It's a way of them expressing their fears. Adults talk it out, children play it out. And when the things they imagine start to feel too scary, she added, they can stop or adjust the storyline. They're in control of what happens. It's the adults, the ones who are used to being in control, who might suddenly feel unmoored. Or at least that's how Ashley Fuller, 33, felt when she emerged from the bathroom to find her son Calvin, who was 3 at the time, standing in the darkness of her bedroom, naked, holding a red inflated balloon. He roared and lunged at her.
Okay.
See, this is when I kick the demon child and ask why they want a glass of water in the middle of the night.
Obviously, because they're thirsty.
Yeah.
Demons get thirsty.
Now she laughs about it, nervously, but at the time she said, "I screamed so loud you just don't expect anything like that." Later that year, he started asking about death. It often happened while they were driving home from preschool in their Dallas neighborhood where he loved to go bird watching. I don't see any birds. They must have all died. Or, the birds look sad. I think it's because all their parents died. And then, when am I going to die?
Only be creeped out when that kid's asking questions of when his parents are going to die. Then you get a little worried.
Yeah.
This is actually a very long article, so let's... it's not uncommon for children to explore all kinds of themes in their pretend play, including violence, fear, and risk, said Marjorie Taylor, a professor emerita of psychology at the University of Oregon, and an expert on the ways in which children create imaginary companions. When your child is engaging in imaginary play, you can use that as an opportunity to learn more about what's on her mind and explore why it's interesting to her, Dr. Taylor said. Try asking non-intrusive, open-ended questions like, how did the skeletons make you feel? Why does your imaginary friend like to argue so much? Or, simply, tell me more about that. Sometimes the children's responses can be enlightening for the parent. In general, imaginary play is a safe way for a child to explore and understand their world, the experts said. They added that some of the best ways to promote a child's creativity, including the use of pretend play, is to give your child unstructured time and simple props like an empty box. You can also offer toys that enable open-ended play like blocks, Legos, action figures, or dolls. For younger kids, try asking them to make up a story or showing them how to pretend that an object is something else, like taking a block and using it as a telephone. Your children will most likely engage in even more pretend play during the pandemic if they aren't seeing their regular friends as often and also have more downtime. There might be a bumper crop of imaginary friends due to COVID, she added. Imagine that.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I cut out about half of this article.
That's okay. She was starting to sound fairly pretentious.
Yeah,
She's
besides
a psychology professor. Of course she's pretentious.
Besides the fact, children they don't need imaginary play to be creepy. Children are the same creatures who can sneak into your room, and I've had this happen to me a couple times, and they'll just stand there and stare at you till you wake up in a dark room, and then ask for breakfast.
I figure you would appreciate that article, Wren. You've experienced it firsthand. Oh God, Ray has written an entire scene for us. Let me read this. Sarah walked into the ballroom of the Hilton Grand Hotel with a huge window array looking out over the beach. The moon in the sky illuminated the room. The lights were out. The cult had just drunk the Kool-Aid. She quickly reaped over 36 souls, then took a moment to look at the ballroom. She admired the view and realized this place might be perfect. Just as the hotel manager opened one of the doors and gasped at the horror before him, Sarah made herself visible. "Excuse me," she said, tapping the manager's shoulder. The shocked man slowly turned and looked at the imposing woman holding a scythe much larger than him. "Yes," he said very slowly. "How much to rent this room for an evening?" Sarah asked. There's more. Is there more? No, that's the end of it. Jesus Christ, Ray.
I'm surprised that didn't end with Antoine waking up in a suit in the room.
Very confused.
Very confused, like, what's going on?
All right, Wren, hit us with something.
All right. This is, well, scary for other reasons, and I'm sorry to any pizza lovers in the chat. Customer branded monster after restaurant shares unusual way they ate their pizza.
Steve, avert your ears. He gets very
Steve.
serious about his pizza.
I know, and I figured this is just as scary given how people feel about pizza on the internet. There's one thing that gets There's one thing that gets people really hot under the collar. Is it pizza? Or it's pizza. Is pineapple an acceptable topping?
Yes.
Should you really eat a large one in a sitting?
No.
Depends on how drunk you are.
Fair point.
Touche.
Papa John's or Domino's?
Domino's.
Does Italy produce the best pizza?
No, Chicago does.
Good answer. There's endless questions to be asked when it comes to pizza. There's one thing that people can be very particular about. That's what should and shouldn't be put on the cheesy delicacy. But it seems there might be a new food argument heading our way after a restaurant tweeted a picture of how a customer had eaten their pizza. Honest Crust Sourdough Pizza, that's quite a long name, and Altrim Manchester took to social media to share a picture of the dish.
What the hell?
I will wait for reactions.
Wait.
Did she not eat the crust?
She didn't touch a single bit of the crust.
Note what else is on the
like
plate.
The crust.
It's a fork and knife, which, I've eaten pizza with a fork and knife.
Well, Chicago-style pizza, you have to have a fork and knife. But that's not Chicago-style pizza.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't brand her a monster, but I certainly wouldn't invite her over to my house.
You're not allowed over. Why not? Because you eat pizza like a crazy person.
Quite frankly, I'm afraid you're a serial killer.
It's fair to say that people weren't happy, as this customer had avoided eating all the crust.
See, I can understand not eating the crust after 1 or 2 slices. Crust is a little bit much. Or if you happen to be 5. But that's why they give you things like ranch dip and the butter dip stuff that Papa John's gives out. That's why. So you eat the crust.
To be fair, too, it also depends. Is it day-old pizza? Because if it's day-old pizza you're reheating, I don't necessarily eat the crust because it gets too hard.
Depends on how you reheat it. Yeah, it does get a little
chewy.
It gets a little too chewy if it's day-old pizza. If it's fresh pizza, hell yeah, I eat the crust.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's day-old pizza... the crust might be the one bit that's just kind of too hard to eat. The restaurant, which has been dubbed incredible in rave reviews on TripAdvisor, jokingly tweeted, 2020, why do you hurt us so much?
It's a valid question.
It is.
That is a valid question. One person replied, people who do this should not have pizza. Now, some did joke saying this customer's a monster, so the monster part's joke. We think.
The second reply to that is a little different. Just wrong on every possible level. What sort of freak does this?
This. One customer said the pizza vendor should offer dipping sauce to try to avoid this, but it turns out they already do.
What? Yeah, this woman is a crazy person.
Vendor is not responsible for how crazy people eat their pizza. Sorry.
That is at the end of the article. But yeah.
What are you doing?
What is who doing?
Somebody is rummaging.
That would be my cats.
Ah, okay.
They are ninja attacking each other.
Oh, carry on then.
Malik says, I'm one of those who never eat their crust.
What?
Do you eat the pizza like this, Malik?
Because if you do, we can no longer acknowledge your presence.
I wouldn't say that. I would just warn everyone else in chat that they have a serial killer in their midst.
And I know someone else in chat asked earlier, this is what I'm drinking.
They can't see that. Put it more in front of your face, darling. A little bit more. There you go.
This is the apple pie wine. As you can tell, the bottle is... Yes, we're sending you 2 bottles, don't worry.
I know. I'm just saying that I can't wait to get it.
Zeo Gold has made a very true statement. New York pizza is a snack. Chicago pizza is a meal.
Yes, Chicago deep dish pizza is a meal, and it is the only pizza where, yes, it is perfectly acceptable to eat Chicago-style deep dish with the fork and knife.
Well, because you can't actually lift the slices up.
No, you can't.
I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of a New York style pizza.
New York style pizza is nice. That's what most pizza is like. But New
New
York
York.
does have the thinner crust on the bottom and the bigger slices. But Chicago style pizza just has something about it that makes it better.
Chicago style pizza is what you eat if you want. This is what I view. New York pizza is good, and I don't get me wrong. I do like a thin crust. I am a fan of a flatbread every now and then, but I view flatbread and thinner crust as more of an appetizer. Like that's the snacky pizza. New York or Chicago style pizza is like what you get, and it's like I'm gonna be so full I want to go into food coma after pizza.
Yes. And it's also a pizza built in reverse.
And you are right, TM Ryder. Chicago style pizza is worth dying for. Chicago's kind of gone to shit.
We are offending Steve because he is a native New Yorker.
I'm with you, Steve. If that makes you feel better.
I've only ever tried true New York style pizza once, and that was when I happened to be in New Jersey, and not even positive that was true New York style, so I can't give a verdict on it.
Well, let's get back into the spooky because apparently, Wren, you have made everyone hungry in the chat.
Congratulations.
Wait till you guys come see Friday when I actually make pizza on stream.
Which is interesting because we had pizza before we started doing this.
Yes, we have pizza on Tuesdays.
So let's get into the spooky. Shall we, Ishtar?
Mm-hmm.
As she downs her booze.
I didn't down my booze. I just took a nice long drink of it because it's tasty. This one was up on my screen already, so we're going to go with the dormant horrors of Beach Army Hospital.
All right.
Those in the paranormal community are a thorough bunch. They leave no stone unturned, no forest unresearched, no dark corner of any state unexplored. They've outed every ghost, documented every haunt, explored every rumor and shrapnel of mythical lore. And yet, here I find myself, alone in the damp and crumbling halls of a building for which no record exists and no investigator has ever truly set foot in. Here, on the periphery of the Mineral Wells city limits, abandoned in the barren fields of this dreary town, I am alone in Beach Army Hospital. I've done my research, and the only indisputable fact I can spew about this building is that in the eyes of the world, it might as well not even exist. There are no videos of overnight hunts, no independent publications or blogs that have been written, and no record of its past with the Mineral Wells Chamber of Commerce. It once served as an installation of the Fort Walters military base. It was a hospital devoted to treating active duty military personnel, but when Fort Walters shuttered its doors at the end of the Vietnam War, so too did this facility. So here it has sat since the early 1970s, and here I stand in 2020, the first paranormal investigator ever granted access to the structure in nearly half a century. I stumbled upon this enigmatic situation at the behest of Brett Hobson, the owner of Beach Army Hospital, LLC. In an effort to help fund the hospital's renovations, Hobson wants to open the doors of Beach Army Hospital for the world to see, and wants to do so by allowing private, overnight ghost hunts of the facility to any team brave enough to venture to its location. The site of countless deaths due to the building's operation as a hospital. There was also the looming threat of something sinister. Hobson and his family had the misfortune of discovering the building had been used as a destination for numerous satanic rituals. They discovered pentagrams and upside-down crosses painted on the walls of a former patient's bedroom. According to Hobson, the energy inside the room was so strong the family dog nearly jumped out the second-story window when brought in there. While there is no doubt in my mind that Beach Army Hospital will quickly prove itself to be amongst the most haunted locations in Texas, if not the country, it's the spotlight in the paranormal community that will be short-lived. With the construction on the building set to begin later this fall, there will only be a few months open for investigators to explore the inside of the building. Then it will close, and at that time it will become the Perfect Technician Academy, a local trades training school catering to the veteran community, and has announced they will be leasing the building for their own use. What's more, with the spirits inside having had no interaction with the living in decades, those few months of investigations are poised to yield some utterly groundbreaking evidence of spirits who are eager to make themselves known. The disembodied voices of men and women linger in the stairs and hallways. The blackened apparitions of former patients can be seen lurking in shadowed corners. The shuffling of phantom footsteps can be heard all around you, and the resident poltergeists are quick to move objects before your very eyes. All of this evidence and more deserve to be captured. It will be up to you and your team to do so. Visit the Haunted Historian on Instagram for a link to the location's website for bookings, and prepare to conduct an investigation unlike any you've ever done before.
I'm going to pass on this one. I don't like disturbing the spirits.
Really?
But that could be a fun episode of MSNBC.
Right?
No.
Yes.
It could be amazing.
Look,
Live.
you weird people, you can go play Phantasmophobia or whatever it's called in real life. I'm not going to.
I'm down.
I'm down.
Yep, Matt. Antoine can, whine.
Dark says, Jon Stewart famously said, it's not a pizza, it's a casserole. I'm assuming he's talking about Chicago-style pizza. Yaknamena says, ignore the little green men. It's a training exercise. Then Steve says, I actually have a ghost in my house. Mitzi is announcing to everyone that she is wearing no pants.
Good for her.
And Clever is pressing X to doubt.
I still think that haunted location would be an awesome live MSNBC episode.
Oh, it really would.
Ishtar yawned. Everyone take a drink.
I already did.
Allie goes, for a cyber demon, Antoine really is a pussy. Poofed one for life.
Aww.
Not wanting to disturb the spirits after I've seen them in action has nothing to do with me being a pussy. It has to do with knowing that they are around.
Meow, meow, meow.
You see, Malik understands. I don't want them messing with the hideout.
You don't live there. So why do you care?
Because I still have to be there later than everyone else.
You don't have to. You choose to.
You choose to stick around the hideout longer. Now, to be fair, yes, are there a number of us who have rooms in the hideout and hang out there? Yes.
Every now and again.
Every now and again. I'm pretty sure I took some other former hideout resident's bedroom.
Yeah. You really did, but that's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They're not there.
No, they're not. And I redecorated the room anyway, so it's mine.
Yep.
So, it is spooky season after all. Halloween will be here this Saturday.
Woo!
So, what happens during spooky season?
Trick-or-treating?
Getting drunk?
Costumes!
And horror movies. Horror movies get shown on Hulu all the time. Netflix becomes a big thing. It's all over Twitter. Well, I happen to find the best scary movies from every year since 1960 to watch this Halloween.
No thanks. The last time you watched a horror movie with Sarah, she sat there and laughed so hard I thought she was going to pee herself.
Well, to be
It
fair,
ruined the atmosphere.
to Sarah, I'm pretty sure horror films are just comedies.
Basically. So you guys can enjoy that all on your own.
The pandemic may have robbed us most Halloween traditions like communal candy bowl grabs and crowded costume parties, but one thing everyone can still do safely is watch television, and lots of it. So here's a comprehensive list of scary movies, one from every year since 1960, to stream this season from the comfort of your own home. What's Halloween without Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers anyway? So,
I don't know.
from 1960, we get The Great Psycho from Alfred Hitchcock.
That's a classic.
If you haven't seen it yet, watch the black and white version, not the actual redubbing of it with Vince Vaughn, it's not as good. You know what? This should be a list of movies that Ishtar has not seen.
Can guarantee you that I've never been big on horror movies.
Have you seen Psycho?
Pieces.
Psycho's good. I watched the remake. The only thing I'll say for the remake is there's one plot hole it semi-fixed, but it missed the mark of what the original was.
Well, that's because it was a scene-for-scene, word-for-word remake of the original. It was when it was a remake in actual what a remake is. They just did different actors and had it colorized.
Yeah, no.
Theo Gold, you will never get Sarah into an Elvira costume.
Now, I do know there is a scene that you have seen from Psycho. And that's
Is it the shower scene?
It's the famous shower scene.
Everybody's seen that.
Everyone has seen it, yes.
Yeah.
So, from 1961, we have The Pit and the Pendulum. A young Englishman enters a forbidden castle to investigate his sister's mysterious death. It is a horror movie. Then there's Experiment in Terror from 1962. A murderer threatens to kill a bank teller. If she doesn't steal a large sum of money, then she gets the FBI involved. Now, I want you guys to realize, in the beginning, there wasn't a slasher genre. A lot of the horror was mental. It was suspense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As Alfred Hitchcock said, there's nothing scarier than what your brain comes up with.
Exactly. The Haunting from 1963. An anthropologist takes two women to Hill House, a supposedly haunted mansion, to find out whether the supernatural is truly at work there. Now, the remake was okay, but not that great.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, though.
You're not wrong.
Catherine Zeta-Jones. As a bisexual.
Yeah, like I said, not wrong.
But yeah, the Vincent Price version can't be beat.
Blood and Black Lace from 1964. A masked killer stalks models at a fashion show in Rome. Repulsion from
Good name.
Repulsion from 1965. Catherine Deneuve plays a woman who suffers from androphobia, the fear of men, and descends into madness alone in her apartment.
Okay.
Kill Baby Kill from 1966. A physician encounters strange forces while investigating deaths in Transylvania. In the Italian horror, it's an Italian horror movie. Wait Until Dark from 1967. A recently blinded woman, Audrey Hepburn, is terrorized by thugs searching for a heroin-stuffed doll they believe is in her apartment.
Because of course they did.
And then we have the classic from 1968, Night of the Living Dead.
Yep. That's won so many sequels.
Yes. It is also seen as the most comprehensive zombie movie that was ever created.
Yep.
Rosemary's Baby from 1968. Rosemary, Mia Farrow, meets devil-worshipping neighbors and becomes pregnant with, you guessed it, a demon spawn. What people don't know is this is actually Wren's documentary of how she got her own demon spawn.
Hey. Demon spawn aren't that bad to live with. You get used to the levitation and shit like that.
And as
Eventually.
long as you keep some holy water on hand, you can punish them safely.
Yeah.
The
holy water in a spray bottle works just fine.
Yeah. Cats, demons, works.
The Honeymoon Killers from 1969. A nurse sticks by her con man boyfriend even after finding out he seduces lonely women and kills them.
That's ride or die.
Indeed that is.
Not great taste, but ride or die.
Now for the 1970s. The House of Dark Shadows. Dark Shadows, a long-running TV series, had this movie spin-off in which a vampire long locked in a coffin resumes his feast on the living ways.
I enjoyed the Johnny Depp version. It was very funny.
A Bay of Blood in 1971. A countess's family engages in a killing spree after her untimely death in this early entry in the slasher genre. So Yeknemeno was correct. Slashers started about 70s or the 80s. And then another classic, The Exorcist, 1972. Famous.
Everybody knows that one.
Yes. 1973 is Don't Look Now. A married couple travel to Venice, where two sisters convince them their recently deceased daughter is trying to contact them.
That's messed up.
And then we have Silent Night, Bloody Night. A lawyer and his girlfriend flee an axe killer stalking them on the site of a former asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Deep Red from 1975. After a psychic is murdered, a musician and a journalist work to find the killer. That sounds interesting.
Does.
Another classic, Carrie from 1976.
I've seen that one.
You've seen Carrie.
And read the books.
Interesting. Suspiria, 1977. Amid a series of murders, a newcomer at a prestigious German dance school uncovers the institution's terrifying history. And then one of the most classic movies out there, Halloween.
Oh, hell yeah.
Have you ever seen the original Halloween, Ishtar?
No.
You should. It's actually really good. Amityville Horror is 1979. You know what that is?
I do.
Okay.
Amityville Horror is one of those weird ones where I liked the remake better.
Yeah, it really depends. It also had a couple of sequels.
Yeah, the sequels
Don't
were
they all?
weird. Cat, what did you just put in your mouth?
A
Spit
mouse.
it up. No plastic.
Ew.
No eating plastic.
Now, on to the 1980s. We have another classic, Friday the 13th. Everyone knows about or has heard about Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Yep.
And then we have The Shining.
Seen it. The original and the remake.
The remake was not very good.
The remake has one fatal problem. Hedges aren't scary.
It was an interesting take, I thought.
I'll give the remake only one thing. The remake delved much more into the psychology of the dad. I don't only know that a character's name, but I can't think off the top of my head. So the remake did delve more into just how crazy he went, and it was much more of a slow progression. But Jack Nicholson still was more terrifying.
Jack Nicholson just has that psychotic about him.
Yeah.
From what I heard, I haven't seen it, but Doctor Sleep, which is the sequel to The Shining, was actually pretty good. Then we have from 1981, The Beyond. In this Italian horror film, a woman who inherits a Louisiana hotel finds that it sits on the entrance to hell.
Raise your hand if you're shocked.
It is in Louisiana.
Yeah.
1982 is Poltergeist. Everyone knows about this one. Everyone has heard The Curse of Poltergeist.
The Curse
Yeah.
of Poltergeist?
Ishtar, you read an article about it.
Oh,
Yeah. The curse of it.
I read a lot of articles, and I have a goldfish memory, so you can fuck
Okay.
right off, okay?
A lot of the actors, including the young girl actor, died.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
some
remember
of them
that.
were quite tragic for their deaths. I think wasn't one one was killed.
Yes. 1983, we have Cujo. No, people know.
I've seen it. Meh.
Isn't that the one with the killer chihuahua?
No, it's a killer Saint Bernard.
Oh.
1984, my favorite horror movie, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
1985, we get the sequel of Night of the Living Dead with Day of the Dead.
Yeah, that was it.
1986 is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Henry and Otis, based on real-life killers Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole, commit a string of gory murders. Hellraiser.
Well, they're just charming, aren't they?
Well, they are. Hellraiser from 1987. I'm guessing Ishtar's never seen Hellraiser.
Nope.
Probably not.
Child's Play from 1988. We all know about Chucky.
Yep.
Yes.
The
Now that one, the remake sucked.
Yeah, that remake was not very good. 1989. The movie about the book that scared Stephen King so bad he had to write it in 3 different parts, which is Pet Sematary.
They also remade that one recently, too.
They did. They went more into the story behind everything, so it had its pluses and minuses. If they could have combined both of them together, it would make a perfect movie.
True.
Another Stephen King classic, we have Misery from 1990.
Is that the one with the lady who was obsessed with the author?
Yes.
Okay.
And she broke his legs and basically kept him trapped until he rewrote a book according to what... Basically, it's what happens if someone who writes fan fiction goes completely batshit crazy.
Yes.
Ray, do we need to have a talk?
Silence of the Lambs from 1981, where we got introduced to Hannibal Lecter.
I know that one.
Clarice.
Candyman came out in 1992. Tony Todd played an imposing figure that played off of the whole Bloody Mary type thing. And then we have When a Stranger Calls Back, 1993. After a killer starts stalking a co-ed, a detective and a crisis center counselor are on the case. Oh, why is this one there? 1994. Shame on you. Wes Craven's New Nightmare for 1994. The final movie in the Freddy Krueger series.
It wasn't bad. I mean, if you had some liquor, it wasn't the worst.
It tried to be too meta.
It did try to be too meta. But it wasn't the worst thing ever. Like, if you watch the Nightmare on Elm Street, back to back to back, it wasn't the worst of them. It was just too meta and campy.
Yes.
But drinking is fun to watch.
Well, there's that.
From 1995, we have Village of the Damned, which is also a good one. 1996, we have the classic Scream, which blew everyone's mind with the dual killers. Spoiler alert for a 30-year-old movie. 1997 is Funny Games. 2 sadistic, white-gloved young men torture a family they take hostage in their own vacation home. 1998, Halloween H2O, 20 years later. 1999, everyone knows about this one because it's always in the top 10 of like body horror or scary Japanese horror, things like that, is The Audition. In this Japanese thriller, a widower enters into a relationship with a woman with a penchant for violence and a harrowing history. And now we get into the double aughts. What Lies Beneath for 2000. A woman hears mysterious voices and sees an apparition in the home she shared with her ex-husband. I do believe the twist at that one was stupid. Donnie Darko, I wouldn't consider a horror movie.
Donnie Darko is just weird as shit.
Yeah. Weird movie, yes. Horror movie, no.
And the Minion says he found Donnie Darko boring. Donnie Darko is very slow paced from what I remember.
Yeah, it's a slow burn.
But I don't think I was sober when watching that, so...
Which may have an issue. Alright, here we go.
Darling, no offense, but there's a lot of times I have a feeling you weren't exactly sober.
I had a fun high school years, but yeah, there were some times I was not exactly sober.
Sometimes?
A large chunk of it, but shush.
We have to be honest,
I was part of the skater crowd in high school, so
that explains a lot.
Mind-altering things were not uncommon.
Yeah, pretty much.
In 2002, we have everyone's favorite Japanese horror movie, The Ring.
The most over-troped movie ever.
Don't give a shit, that girl is terrifying.
I laughed. I must be weird then, because I laughed my ass off through The Ring.
Were you high?
Probably.
There you go. 2003, we have the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which actually was really good because it ended up being something that kind of tied it together.
The
Sorry.
remake, I think that one falls in line much like Amityville Horror. The remake ended up being better, but then again, Amityville Horror I might like better because Ryan Reynolds was the dad in that remake, and I like him.
And then we
Ryan
have
Reynolds is a good actor.
Yeah, he is.
then we have the beginning of torture porn, Saw from 2004.
I love those movies.
Nope. Can't do it.
Then we have The Descent in 2005. The Host. There's a lot of the in these early ones.
Oh.
The Host in 2006. In Korean director Bong Joon-ho's third film, a ravenous creature emerges from the sea and attacks local residents.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different movie then.
Yeah. Paranormal Activity for 2007.
Boring.
It was. Let the Right One In for 2008, which was also a slow burn. That's the one with the young vampire who befriends the son. Orphan.
Oh, yeah.
Orphan from 2009.
Not bad.
Now we get into the 2010s. Insidious.
That was actually pretty good.
Now, this next one I do hold in high regard because of the original as well. 2011's The Thing, which was
The remake
not.
with Ryan.
It was not a remake. It was a prequel.
Oh yeah, the prequel. That also has Ryan Reynolds in it, though.
I don't think so.
No, there was one with Ryan Reynolds. I remember.
I don't think it was The Thing, but The Thing from 2011 was a prequel to the original from the 80s, which was really good, really scary, and is what Among Us is based off of.
Yes.
2012, everyone's favorite combination sci-fi horror movie, Cabin in the Woods.
That was good. Cabin in the Woods also, 'cause I had the book for it. Cabin in the Woods also has a fun bit of humor to it too.
Yes.
So it was that nice mix of comedy and horror. And I love some of the props they have in the background that pretty much are like nods to other horror films.
Oh yeah. The Cabin in the Woods is definitely is usually in the top 5 of everyone's things. All right, Ali, have a good night. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
We are almost done here, folks. Almost. The Conjuring for 2013.
Meh.
The Babadook for 2014.
That wasn't bad.
The Witch from 2015.
Mm.
Hush from 2016. Get Out from 2017. Hereditary from 2018. Us from 2019. And I have to disagree with this one.
Which one?
The reboot of The Grudge for 2020. They end on that for 2020?
No, the reboot of The Grudge was not good.
It was
Though
horrible.
There's one film they did not list that should have been on there.
There's a couple.
There's a couple, but there's one called, I don't know if it's on Netflix or Hulu, but it's called The Perfect Host. And it has the guy played the psychologist on the spinoff from Cheers.
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer, thank you. It has Kelsey Grammer in it. And
nice.
the whole plot of the film is these guys basically think they're holding this Kelsey Grammer's character hostage. And Kelsey Grammer's character, was going to have a simple dinner party. And so these guys think they're robbing him and they're holding him hostage. And I guess without giving the movie's been out for a while, so spoilers. Kelsey Grammer's character is actually the sociopath, and actually the one you should be terrified of. And the way he acts in the entire thing is like this guy. His character is completely calm, almost eerily so throughout the whole film, no matter what he does. And actually, that was the film where it's like Kelsey Grammer's character was 10 times more terrifying than any axe-wielding guy in the middle of the woods. Because holding a normal, civilized conversation and could kill you and then continue the conversation.
Yeah.
Like
Another one that they didn't add on there that was the original blockbuster, which was a horror movie, is Jaws.
Jaws, yeah. Jaws.
Jaws scared the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, damn alien, not wrong. Basically, think Frasier, but if Frasier was a serial killer. It's actually a fascinating film to watch, and it is scary.
All right, Wren, it is your turn.
All right.
Since he chewed up most of the time.
Will you shush?
We go back. And we shall go with... Well, do we want puppy or horse? Because I'm going to be nice to the audience and give them something cute. I will say horse does tie into the Washington state.
Ishtar, which one do you want? Don't start that again. Just answer the question.
You told me to hush.
This is the one time she listens to me out of any time I've told her to be quiet.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Washington story.
That's what I was going to ask for.
Escaped horse trots through streets of 2 Washington state towns.
Okay. I mean, when a horse wants to go out, the horse is going to go out. It's like a 1,000-pound animal.
Yeah.
No, really isn't an option if a horse wants to go out.
Have a good night, Mitzi.
Night, Mitzi.
Police in Washington state said an escaped horse went on a run in traffic and made its way through the streets of 2 towns before being caught. Maryville Police Department said the horse named Jag escaped his owners in Maryville on Sunday while his stall was being remodeled. The horse ran loose in the streets of Maryville and then made its way to Arlington before being captured with the help of the Arlington Police Department. Police said they identified Jag's owners through the help of social media, and the horse was returned safely home.
Oh, that's good.
Owners probably had to pay a fine, though.
I don't know if it escaped me. I don't know. I'll go with the puppy one too, since that was so short.
All right. Real quick, Dark says another good horror movie is Room 1408, which it was really good. It was a psychological horror.
There's another one, I forget the name of it, where the whole plot of it was like the mirror was causing people to think something was happening when it wasn't.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember the name of it either, but I remember watching it, and like the whole point is like it almost played off Alfred Hitchcock. Like everything, like all the horrible shit that was happening was just their brains coming up with it.
All right. Bring us out of our dark, deepest fears with something cute.
Yeah, that's why I brought something cute, just to help you. Darkness. Puppy born with green fur, immediately named Pistachio.
Aww.
So it was born near a nuclear power plant?
No.
Is this a genetic aberration?
Yeah.
It happens sometimes.
In an already unpredictable year, an Italian farmer discovered another strange occurrence this month. Kristen Malacciali, who runs a farm in the Mediterranean island of Sardinia, was shocked when one of his 8 dogs gave birth to a green furred puppy. Within seconds, he named the tiny pooch Pistachio, because
Italian.
What else are you gonna name him?
Slugworth.
Pistachio is cuter.
Ooze.
Yeah. You're just wrong.
Slimer.
No. It's a puppy.
Yeah, it's an adorable puppy. The canine was part of a 5-dog litter born October 9th. Just like their mixed breed mom, Spalencia, they all had white fur, except Pistachio. It's uncommon for a dog to be born with green fur. The phenomenon is believed to occur when pale-colored puppies make contact with green pigment called
Billy Verden is the best I
Bill
got.
Verdon in the womb, according to news organization. Last October, a Great Dane in Colorado gave birth to a litter of pups, and one had green fur similar to the recently born Italian pup. So yeah, apparently it does happen. And good.
Ghost Dog says should be named Swamp Thing.
No.
Tom Leach says Absinthe.
Okay, that one's not bad.
Absinthe for a green furred dog is not bad.
Yep.
I was also going to say you could name it Grinch.
No,
The Grinch?
No.
it has to be cute. The effect is temporary because the color has faded since Pistachio was born. But Pistachio is actually going to be trained to be a sheepdog.
Good.
And what the guy said is, he added that the green color that green is the color of hope and luck, and something people could use during this already challenging year.
Very true.
So there you go.
Still,
Two very
Absinthe would have been a better name. But it is a cute dog.
These are cute poppers.
Malik says Hulk.
okay. Hulk, I'll give you. Hulk would kind of be cute.
Damn Alien adds Absinthe makes the heart grow fonder.
That it does.
And the inhibitions lower. Alright, Ishtar. Hit us with something creepy.
Well, since we're not talking about your sex life, let's go with strange creatures filmed in Argentina and Brazil.
That's a segue.
You're welcome. You okay there, Wren?
Thank you for not catching me when I was in the middle of taking a drink.
You're welcome.
Is there something that you want to say to me, Ishtar?
No, I'm pretty sure I've been saying it the entire night.
Yeah.
2 videos have recently emerged showing unidentified creatures lurking around in the darkness. Little is known about the footage other than it was uploaded onto image video sharing site Imgur.
Imager.
It was later picked up by the Phantoms and Monsters blog. The creatures in the 2 clips are thought to have been filmed on separate occasions in different South American countries, Argentina and Brazil, and are not directly connected. The first, judging by the background noise, was filmed in a suburban area and shows the creature, which sort of resembles a wolf-like animal skulking around behind some garden furniture. The second shows a similar animal briefly emerging from some foliage, again in the dark. It's difficult to say what these creatures could be, and while it's possible they are wolves, or perhaps wolves with some sort of disfigurement, we just don't know for sure at this stage. You can check out the videos below.
I'm playing the video. No. That's a person in a costume.
Hey, honey, can I have a smoke? Sure.
Right, you can see how they're moving.
Yeah,
That's a person in a costume.
it is.
Sadly, we kind of all secretly want Bigfoot to be found.
It's not... Well, it's supposed to be a wolf, but look, the way it moves, it doesn't move like an animal.
No, it moves like a person.
I am disappointed.
If you click the right arrow, it will show you the next video.
The right arrow. Alright. Let's bring this one up. It's just static. Oh, okay.
That one I'd say is a kind of monkey.
Yeah, maybe. Let me see if I can pause it at the right time. Maybe. I still am going for person in a costume.
That
Creepy.
seems to be your default answer.
Because it looks like a person in a costume.
Where is your sense of wonder?
I don't know.
I've seen the real things that people think are real, or think are spiritual and supernatural. I don't need people dressed up in costumes about them.
Mm.
Well, do you want me to read one more, or are you good to go?
Oh, I'm always good to go, darling.
That's not what Sarah says. Loch Ness Monster sighting caught on video.
Really?
A man
Really?
Yep.
You're going here. Loch Ness Monster.
It's classic.
She does. It is a classic.
A man who had been walking
Loch
his
Ness
dog along the
Monster.
shore of the loch recently spotted something unusual in the water. Offshore shore worker Trevor Ross was taking a stroll along the beach at Doris, a small village at the northeastern side of Loch Ness, when he noticed something protruding from the water. Grabbing his phone, he managed to capture a few seconds of footage.
Yeah, it's called a log.
The object, which appears black in color, seems to move up and down, in and out of the water. I have been along Doris Beach loads, and I've never seen anything like that before in the water moving, he said. It might have been a log. The sighting comes just 1 week after a family spotted an eel-like creature described as being the size of a bus at exactly the same spot on the beach at Doris. At that time, they were unable to capture footage. However, this latest sighting could be connected. Could both witnesses have seen the same object partially submerged in the water? You can check out the footage below.
No, because I can look at the footage right now and I can see the branches on the log.
Could be a neck and flippers.
Here, hon. I'm returning the bottle.
It's not a neck in flippers. It's branches on top of a log that was bobbing in and out of the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
You positive?
Yes.
Only fools are positive.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you positive?
I'm not a fool, so no.
It's a log.
If you say so.
I do.
Whatever you say.
You know, I know one thing you two won't argue over. Well, maybe you two
Puts a
would.
ring on Sarah's finger.
Well, I was gonna say that my poor minions made plans for his next few meads.
Oh, yeah?
One of them's a ginger snap cookie mead.
Ooh.
Is this how you want to end this episode? Talking
What?
about me and my relationship.
No, it was just a good opportunity.
I brought up liquor. Liquor's a different subject.
She
The
did
liquor
bring up
could be
liquor.
something. Liquor could be something served at a wedding.
Why are you resisting the discussion of liquor?
Because
Yeah,
I have an actual Florida man story.
Okay.
Well, fine.
Go ahead.
Maybe you should read it then.
Florida man stole a bulldozer, ran down Biden signs.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that. But I'm for the whole story. Go for it.
Yeah.
Haines City, Florida. A 26-year-old man has been accused of stealing a bulldozer from a Florida construction site. Because where else are you going to get a bulldozer? Driving it into a neighborhood and knocking down campaign signs for Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden, according to authorities and homeowners. The man took... Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't approve of people's voices being stifled, but I have to admit, a bulldozer is stifling with style.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to be fair, he could have gotten the bulldozer from Costco.
Yeah.
You can buy
Costco
bulldozers
sells
at
everything.
Costco?
You can buy damn near
Sells
anything at
everything.
Costco and Sam's Club.
I must visit these places.
We took you there once. You were with Sarah, remember?
Costco has damn near everything.
No, that was IKEA.
No, IKEA just has everything furniture related. Costco will even sell you a casket.
No, you were at Costco because you had a demon with you who was running around like a sugared up 3-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I blocked that out of my memory. Anyway, the man took the bulldozer in Haines City on Saturday and repeatedly destroyed Biden signs in full view of people who live in the neighborhood. Witnesses said James Blight was charged with grand theft auto and trespassing, according to Haines City. Former Vice Mayor Adam Burgess lives in the Central Florida neighborhood, which he said is predominantly black. Because as we all know, what he's going to say next is complete bullshit. The former Vice Mayor called it a hate crime.
Of course.
This man came onto my property, took the 2 Joe Biden signs I had in my yard, and then came back with a bulldozer to run down my fence. Burgess told Bay News 9. See, that's not actually what the report is saying. He changed the story. See, the report says that he just ran down signs. What this person, who is calling it a hate crime because he wants to get people riled up to vote for Biden, is saying that this man stole his signs and then came and destroyed his fence.
That's not what he said initially.
Video taken by the news outlet showed the damaged fences. Blight was also accused of bulldozing down a city speed limit sign, among other things. Police said Blight claimed he was too drunk at the time to remember what happened. It was not immediately clear whether he has an attorney who could comment on his behalf. This is almost as good as a story as the clip I saw on Twitter today of a person who had a video camera, a security camera, focused on their Biden sign, and a naked man came into view and stole the Biden sign. And then just walked away.
Okay.
I think it's more, at this point, it's capture the flag with signs. You have so many people stealing Trump signs. Now the Trump people are turning around and stealing Biden signs. It's not a hate crime. It's a very creative version of capture the flag.
But it was a predominantly black neighborhood. It has to be a hate crime. He is a white man who destroyed Biden signs in a black neighborhood while drunk. That is racist. That is sexist.
It's only a hate crime because they didn't think of the bulldozer first.
Yeah.
That's why they're labeling it a hate crime. They didn't think of bulldozer. Someone else did. Therefore, hate crime.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Miss Wren, you get the very last article.
All right. Well, we were just talking about dumb criminals. Not dumb like that, but dumb getting caught. A bungling burglar who left what at the scene of a crime?
Well, you didn't say what. I already showed it. But Ishtar
Okay,
can
fine.
guess.
Ishtar can guess.
Semen sample. Blood. His name and address in a conveniently filled out index card.
Well, you're not wrong about the name and address part.
Because she saw it pop up on screen.
She did.
No, I didn't.
She
did, so she'd guess. Good guess.
No, I'm actually not even looking at that screen.
Oh, so she actually just legit guessed it.
Are you fucking with me? Are you serious?
Yeah. A bungling burglar who left behind a rucksack containing his name and address at the scene of a crime has been jailed for 4 years.
He does not look like the brightest criminal.
No, he doesn't. Malcolm Pike, 43, broke into a garage in East Harrington, Sunderland, and stole 150 pounds of cleaning equipment on the 6th of March. He was making his getaway. As he was making his getaway, he accidentally left behind a bag which contained letters both bearing both his name and address. The information helped lead police to his home, where the stolen equipment had been left in the open.
Wow.
Because apparently he didn't think he was going to get caught.
Wow. Wow.
It gets better.
There's more.
In addition to pleading guilty for the burglary, Pike also admitted another burglary, as well as 2 thefts of property in relation to what police have called a crime spree, during which he stole clothes from a family's washing line.
Wow!
I do believe Ishtar has been known to say this. This bitch.
This bitch!
Yeah.
And the balls on him!
Steal clothes from a wash line. Just leave your name and address at the scene of another crime.
I mean, at least he was convenient to the cops. There's that.
Not wrong.
Not
The
wrong.
lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch. To quote one of the best memes yet.
Ghost Dog says, truly a criminal mastermind.
Yeah.
It's something.
But I hate to say this, ladies.
No!
It is about that time.
Why?
It is.
Because it's after 10 o'clock. And your dead
Yeah.
stare to
Hey,
your
hey.
computer screen is kind of creepy, Ishtar.
And don't worry, Ishi. We'll have fun on Saturday.
That's true. There is going to be massive gaming on Saturday. All spooky games and murder games.
Yekno Meno says you've been hit by a smooth-brained criminal.
Yes.
So yes, it is that time.
Okay.
So, this has been MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants, where I have been joined by my gorgeous co-hosts, Wren from Renelations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Well, now rendition now, but yes.
Yes,
Later, guys.
I forgot. I have to change my intro and outro and things like that. Rendition. I'll get it.
No, he won't.
Just enjoy the fact you guys get me streaming live again.
Yes, as well as Ishtar from her own Twitch streams, and where she helps out here on here on Help for the Guiltless and over on Cyberdemon Gaming, and when she's not trying to scare you by staring blankly into the screen.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I hope you all have enjoyed this episode of the Halloween Spooktacular. And remember, this Saturday, Ishtar and Matt will be streaming all day long spooky things, some Among Us, some Phantasmophobia, and other things.
And we're hoping to get Antoine to play with us.
Well,
Are you gonna play this today too?
I did play hide and seek with you all last night, so there's that.
Yes, that was fun.
Yes.
So I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope you have a fantastic Halloween. And remember, stay spooky.
Night.
Night.